Testing one,
I'm going to
two.
go on, but we're not going to go on. You know what I
How
mean?
will you know? How do we need a mic? Right here.
They can't hear. They won't be able to hear.
Testing
How
one,
do you
two.
know when this is
She can
on?
hear.
She's your piece.
Can you hear me? Is that
Testing,
good?
testing.
Right about there? Okay.
John, you're looking awful good today. What happened to you on the weekend? You have a good
Haircut.
weekend, man? Is that what it is?
Get your
Yeah,
ears
you got a
lowered.
whole new look about you, dude.
It's good to be here with you.
You look like an attorney.
Turning stall.
You're actually a good attorney, not one of those cheap fly-by-night BK attorneys.
So should I make a comment about you're not wearing a sport jacket during the broadcast? Our broker couldn't have been bothered today wearing a sport jacket.
I got my realtor mojo.
For his safety, he didn't wear a sport jacket today.
I can go get it real quick. How much time? No, I don't want it. Too hot in here now. Now it's
See,
hot in
and now
here.
you turned the thing down. How come it's
I don't
freezing
know.
in here all the time?
God, now I'm burning. Are you hot? You okay?
I put a coat on and now I'm free. Now I'm going to be sweating bullets here with this coat on. I'm thinking about taking it off. Can't do it from here. It's all done
all
with
done
a
on
iPad.
iPad, yeah. I can go turn it down. How much time we have? Yeah, can you grab it? If you're out there, we're waiting for Alexis to get the iPad, whatever that means. That's code for I don't know what. That's yeah, definitely don't. What was that? Yeah, I have a tendency to go, you know, all that. Oh yeah, many times. Yeah, you do know you're out in public, right? Maybe someone should inform you. All right, what time? What was that? That clock is fast. My clock is not even 9:30. Is it 9:30? Why don't we get started with or without Alexis? So why don't we get started? I don't know how many people are on there right now, but we're here today. John, we're excited, man. We are super
Somebody
excited.
said good morning.
Super excited.
Facebook user.
Good morning. Good morning,
morning.
everyone.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
everybody.
Here from Realty One Group in Green Valley with our awesome guest. John, take it away, sir.
Well, we got a special guest today, and we've been waiting a long time to get somebody like this in our radio show. We have Alexander Nikoloff here today. Alex, tell us all about you.
Oh, how much time do you have?
That's a long question.
That's a long
Where do
question.
we want to start?
Well, first of all, it's great to be back. I'm very happy to be here with both of you guys. Thank you so much for inviting me out. Well, I know we're going to talk a lot about background and different things like that, but I am also a real estate broker salesperson here in the state of Nevada for the last 25 years. So that's what kind of got me started on my journey, which we're going to kind of go into a little bit more. But I'm also a safety consultant and firearms instructor, which is an interesting combination. So let's get into that.
So let's talk about the different classes you teach in real estate right now, LVR. Tell us about that.
So I teach continuing education and post. So all of the major things that you would expect that real estate agents should know, like contracts and ethics and all of those classes, orientation. So I'm at LVR. You can find me there, and also teach at a few other places around town. So I have been doing that for about 9 years now. I love watching the light bulb go off for the agents and kind of helping them on their journey.
Oh, so you're not only about safety and self-defense. You're about teaching realtors to become realtors. I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So I'm all about teaching. I love when I turned 50, which was 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, well, what is your mission for the rest of your life? You have to have a mission. You have to do something, because I probably only have like another 50 years left. I got to make the most of it, right?
God bless you with that. Good luck with that.
I really went to
Let
a
me know that works out.
place, and I thought about what is my passion, what do I love doing, and I heard the message teach. So I'm all about teach.
Do you work in real estate yourself?
I do,
You
yes.
do.
So I'm out there helping people buy and sell homes just like the other agents. So I'm experiencing some of the same things that they are.
So is it a calling somewhat, or I mean, it must be, because
For the real estate?
Yeah, for the teaching part.
For both, yeah. So, I mean, when I moved here in 1997, I knew that there were two things that I wanted to do with my life. And I actually tried to do like correspondence real estate school when I was on tour, and that's a whole nother story that you guys could touch on if you want. But I knew I was going to do real estate. I had a passion for doing real estate. So when I moved here, the first thing I did was go learn how to pass my test and do that and affiliate with a broker and start my career. So I've been, doing this since 1997. So I always knew I was going to do real estate. And the next thing I did was go find a Taekwondo school, which is not really the highest level of excellent safety training, but it was a lot of fun. I spent like 15 years there. So that's really what I'm about, is helping people learn things and teaching them how to be safe. And the martial arts journey was amazing. So it's so many layers of things. It's not just one thing. People are like, can you just teach me in like 2 hours how to do all the things? And I'm like, no instructor can do that.
So, but most people get their real estate license. They don't go looking for a Taekwondo class. I mean,
I know, right? I was a big fan
how
of
do you-
Bruce Lee growing up.
Okay.
And
so was it about you being safe out there as a realtor, or was it about just because you wanted to do it?
Well, a little of both, actually. When I
Okay.
started in 1997, I quickly became a single mom,
Mhm.
and I was in charge of putting food on the table. So I had to go sell, produce, and I had to come home safe to my daughter. That was my obligation. And at that time, there was really word on the street that real estate is a dangerous business for real estate agents. And just like today, we hear on the news all the time about real estate agents getting killed, assaulted, all the bad things. And I was like, well, I have a choice to make. I can go find a different career that's safer. And now I know that was kind of naive, because there is no safe career. All careers have some element of danger. Or I can find a way to defend myself. So I went out and I got my concealed carry permit. And honestly, my first instructor's name was Boom Boom. And he was not the best instructor. So I took about 2 years before I found people that could actually teach me the way. And I like to say I'm kind of a combination and an accumulation of all who have taught me. Because after Boom Boom, who I've never seen after that day, I met a lot of really amazing instructors that guided me on my way. Most of my instructors were, top tier military law enforcement type trainers, and they answered all my dumb questions over and over again. I ask a lot of questions, and until I understand and became proficient in doing things. And then I thought, if I could do this for somebody else, how much further along could they be if they had somebody that answered all their questions and really could relate to them? So that's just kind of where it all began, is just paying forward all that my mentors have given me.
Well, timing on this thing was pretty unique when we decided to bring you on, because a couple weeks ago we had a realtor here in Las Vegas, the tap. You hear about that?
Oh my God, that was so scary. I always follow the news. I spend probably about an hour every morning, look at the news. I also follow a channel called Active Self-Protection, and that's a friend of mine, John Correa. He's amazing, and he studies actual events that are taking place and how can we learn from them. So I heard the story, and I kept looking and looking and looking to get more information about that story. And if you haven't heard this story, basically what I understand took place is that this was a model home, right? And this was a sales agent at a model home, and she had somebody came in that just gave her a bad feeling. And she saw him kind of opening some of the windows or doors, and she was able to get him out of the house, and she followed her instinct. So big kudos to that agent, okay? And she got on the phone, and this is just what I heard on the news, so I have no idea if it's 100% accurate or not. And she got on the news, she called her partner and said, hey, here's what's going on. There's a scary guy over here. He's doing this stuff. And one of them ended up calling the police. Meanwhile, this guy goes to a window in the back of the house that she had locked. So she went around and locked everything when he left, and he broke a window. What kind of a dedicated adversary do you have that they're willing to break a window and come into a house? So she was hiding in a closet, and he dragged her out of the closet and did things. I don't know what things, but luckily, the police were able to break the door down and come in and stop him and arrest him. And it turns out that he actually has done this before at a massage place and actually assaulted a young lady in a massage place. So how horrifying. But, you know, she did a lot of things right. She listened to her instinct and she knew something was off. And right away, she barricaded the doors and, you know, she got the police on the phone. She got somebody on the phone to let them know what was going on. But there's other things that maybe she could have done too that might have helped her. So if anybody knows who this agent is, have her reach out to me. My phone number is going to be in here. I would love to offer her some free training because I'm just so impressed that she handled that situation so well.
Well, just speaking from my many years on site new home sales myself, I got to point out one thing she did terribly wrong. She hid her in a closet. She hid herself in a closet. Whenever someone came in and I felt uneasy, you know what I would do? I would simply walk out the door. I'd walk out the door.
Yeah, and leaving is always one of the best options. Being aware of your surroundings obviously is super important, and trying to anticipate danger coming towards you from further away gives you more options to deal with that danger. But we don't know what the entire situation
No, of course
was.
not. No.
She may have not wanted to go out the front door because he was there.
Could have been.
So maybe she felt like her
There's
partner
got to be more to it.
could get there in time. I don't know. So when I look at stories like that, I never victim blame and say that this person did something wrong. I look at all the things they did right. What did they do right? And what could they have done better? And not knowing the entire story, I really can't.
Sure.
No, I only point that out because
absolutely getting away.
That's what I would, for those listening, that's what I would do. I would just, well, it's happened to me. One of my first jobs was on site. This nut of a nut walks in, and I thought I just said, look, all right, we got to close now because I have a meeting back at the office. I just locked up and walked out the door.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Trusting your first instinct. And even if you have to make up a story and say, oh, I left something in the car, I'll be right back, and just leave. Yeah. That is your best defense, if at all possible. So that was absolutely the right thing to do, trusting your instincts.
And again, I guarantee she did all those things she did right. I can't see someone like that locking himself, putting himself in a trap, like hiding in a closet. That doesn't seem, but
Well, she reacted under stress in that moment, and that's
why you're here to advise people not to.
That's what she felt was appropriate at the moment.
So funny about the whole thing was now we have this new class that you're teaching just got approved.
Yes, I'm very excited about this because this is like my happy moment. Because all of these years I've been watching some of these classes. I've gone to every real estate seminar, safety class, and some of them are a little bit lacking. So I knew that this class was kind of in process. It's something that was put together by United States Concealed Carry Association. And then I also added some elements to it, and I'm able to present to the agent. So I wanted it to be also continuing education, so that they could, at the same time, receive credit for continuing education for risk reduction. I also teach the safety class over at LVR. We have a group of really wonderful instructors that teach that, and that's a really great class as well. So it's really constantly educating yourself with these little nuggets that you can put together and put together a solid plan for yourself, and not only in real estate, but in your life. So this class coming up, I am like so super excited, and thank you
what's the name of the class?
For having me. So the actual name of the class is Realtor Safety and Self-Defense. We do cover some other things, so we can kind of talk about the things that we're going to cover in that class when you guys want.
So when you're teaching a class like this, do you teach or do you kind of give instruction to the males versus the females differently for this kind of?
Yes and no, because when I teach Realtor Safety, a lot of times I have men in the class that think this will never happen to me. So they don't feel that they need to take this class. Female agents may be more inclined to take safety training because they've also been working on their own safety for most of their life, because women worry about different things than men may worry about. But Jim is a great example where he had somebody creepy come to his house. And I can guarantee you that if you just Google real estate agent assaulted, guys, do that right now, Google it. You'll see many, many men, many, many women. But because our business is, I think, a little bit more ladies than men, that's kind of our bigger demographic, I think, when it comes to safety training. But we had an agent right here in town that we talk about in the class that was stabbed in the neck showing a property. Remember that here
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Vegas? That was a male agent. So sometimes, they can maybe let their guard down, and it's not that you're, like a smaller male agent or a larger male agent. There have been agents that are male agents 6'3" that have been hit in the back of the head and robbed. And, there's predators out there. There's really bad people out there. But I find that women do tend to come to these classes more than men, and I would really encourage the men to also come to this class because you're going to learn some really great stuff.
Get a question before I
Well, the
interrupt you.
class that we're talking about is our class right here. We're talking about
Right here
And
in
then,
this
John,
this
the
location.
details on that?
And they have Starbucks. Woo.
Class is scheduled for October 11th.
Mhm.
I think at 9:30,
Nine-
12,
I think it's 9 a.m.
9
Yeah.
to 12.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So tell us about the class a little bit.
Yeah. So things that we're going to be covering
It's
in
a
the
CE class, right?
It's a continuing education for risk reduction. By the way, y'all, don't wait till the last minute to go get your continuing education. Okay. It's just a lot to squeeze in the last 2 weeks. So remember that you do need a certain amount of hours depending on, what group you're in. Make sure that you plan ahead for that. So we're going to talk about not only realtor self-defense, we're going to talk about informational security, making sure that you guard your client's information as well as your own, different disclosures that you might want to have in your practice. We're going to talk about showing homes when you're showing property, some of the best practices to utilize when doing that. We're going to spend time talking about situational awareness because situational awareness is huge, whether you're showing property or whether you're just out there in the world. The longer distance between you and a potential threat, the more options you have available to you. Like Jim's option was get in the car and drive away. And that's awesome. I hope that all of my students have the opportunity because they're so aware of their surroundings to just get in their car and drive away. That's the best outcome that I could expect. But the closer they are to you, then you have to decide what options do I have. And if somebody's 3 feet, 5 feet, 7 feet away, now you have limited options, and now you're probably going to have to fight them to some extent. So you really want to think about having not only one plan, but many plans depending on the situation, how to handle that particular situation. So how does stress affect the body? I don't know about you, but I have been in situations of stress where things have happened, even like car accident, or some moment where somebody comes up behind you and says, boo. Like, I hate when people do that. Please don't do that to me. I totally overreact.
I know, me too.
Not a good thing to do, right? But your blood pressure starts going, your adrenaline, kicks up, your endorphins kick in, and things happen to the body. So it's important that we understand those types of things that are happening to the body so we can learn how to harness them instead of getting frozen in that spot. We're also going to talk about mindset and defensive strategy and different options for defense. There's many things that you can utilize in your business. You want to absolutely be sure that you know your policies within your office, you know the law about whatever type of multiple force option that you decide to have, and that you are trained to use it proficiently. So like we talk about pepper spray in the class. I'm sure that a lot of you carry pepper spray. It's a great less than lethal tool. But how many of you have actually ever taken that pepper spray and sprayed it so you know how to make it work? So we have a whole class on pepper spray that's super fun and learning a lot of different things about how to take care of yourself in that situation.
It's a recreated class, right?
So the pepper spray is not, but this class is a 3-hour risk reduction credit. So you're going to learn stuff and you're going to be able to get closer to being able to renew your license.
I believe we're going to put that at our event, right?
Yeah.
So watch for that class being advertised on event. It's going to be October 11th, again, from 9 till 12, 30 to 12:30.
3 hours.
So the fact that you're a female realtor, did this make you more passionate about this stuff?
Oh, absolutely. I think that women get a lot of really well-meaning but bad advice from people that maybe love them or care about them or are just trying to be helpful. And it might not be the best advice that you can give somebody. So from that perspective, being a woman, I think of, how does the world affect me and how does my business affect me and how I go from point A to point B affect me? And, there's a size difference between most female real estate agents and women in general and men. So there's a lot of different fears that women have that men don't consider, like walking down the street. I mean, do you think about walking down the street? And you're more aware of your surroundings, so you probably do give thought to that. But Jim, when you're walking down the street, do you worry about somebody grabbing you and throwing you in the back of a van? Not so
really.
much, right? But
No.
women worry about different things and worry about, their children and what do I do if I'm in a situation and I have to, guard my child so there's so many things that women think about that men don't. And, can we talk about a firearm for a minute?
Sure.
So a lot of times a husband or, a father or brother will buy a firearm for their family member. You can't buy a firearm for somebody unless you go through a gun store with the FFL. You have to get a background check, okay? But a husband could buy a firearm for his wife to use, right? Because it's familial. And they'll buy a firearm and they're like, this is the perfect thing for you. And a lot of the times it's cute and small and pink.
Oh my God.
And then they bring it to me and they're like, oh my God, my husband bought this gun for me. And I'm like, oh, I am so happy that you have somebody that loves you so much that they're thinking about your safety, that they want you to be, protecting yourself. Let's work with this. And then they find out this is totally not what I want. So I always recommend for my male and female students to think about what is it for, and there's a whole lot to it, but just really quickly, like, what is it for? Is it for home defense or concealed carry or sporting or whatever? And then, caliber, brand, all that kind of stuff. Go out and try a whole bunch of them. So you can go to many ranges and you can shoot firearms and you can get training, and I give training, and then you pick the one that works for you, and then you say, honey, I want you to get this for me, or give me the money so I can go buy this. And that would be so much better instead of spending that money towards something they're never going to use.
I see from your shirt, your advertisement on your shirt, Low Pro Consulting. Tell us about that.
Yes. So Low Pro Consulting, you can go to Low Pro Consulting LV or Low Pro LV. Okay. Make sure I got that website right. lowprolv.com. And you can learn a little bit more about us. This company's been around for probably about 12 years now. We have a team of 5 amazing instructors, and you can learn a little bit about our background by going on there. You can see a list of all the classes we have scheduled, but anything that we teach, we can do custom for a group or even one-on-one. I have a lot of clients that will call me up and say, hey, so-and-so referred me to you, and I just bought this firearm. I don't know what to do with it, and I'm afraid to touch it. And I'm like, good, don't touch it. Let's meet at the range, and let's go through some safety training. So we can do one or groups as large as 30, depending on the subject. We teach a lot of different things, and you can see a little bit about it on the website. But if you go to About Us, you can look at our credentials, and you can see kind of the background of what we are certified to teach. So for instance, I'm a concealed carry instructor, so here for the state of Nevada and also Utah. So I teach those classes. It's an 8-hour class that you must take and turn in your application before you can carry concealed. And we teach kind of the sporting aspect. We have competitors within the group that go out and compete. It's super fun. And also the defensive aspect. So whether it's handgun or rifle or shotgun. So I have a defensive rifle class, defensive pistol class, defensive shotgun class, totally different than going out and shooting clays or shooting pheasants. It's a totally different type of mindset and training. So we teach all of those classes. We also have lecture only classes. So Refuse to be a Victim is an excellent class where we come in and probably about 3 hours, and we talk about, comes with the book. Most of our classes do come with book certifications that you could take home and read more about us later. But we have some that are lecture only. So it really doesn't matter what your plan is or what your journey is. We're here to support your journey, whether you're not interested at all in firearms or you're considering one, or you just want to be able to go home safe. There's many, many levels to that thought process, and we're here to help you with that.
So that's Low Pro.
That's low pro.
So I also see your name around Girl and a Gun.
A girl and a gun. Oh my God.
What is that?
Oh my God. So I'm so excited about Girl and a Gun. I started the Las Vegas chapter of A Girl and a Gun. I think it was about 7 years ago, and it was just the best decision that I could ever make. I wasn't too sure in the beginning because I was like, that's a lot of estrogen. And I don't know if I want to be involved with that much estrogen, but it turned out to be the best decision I ever made. Girl and a Gun. And if you go on the internet, go girlandagun.org, O-R-G, so girlandagun.org, you can see our website. We are nationwide. So I'm not in charge of nationwide. I'm in charge of the Las Vegas chapter of A Girl and a Gun. We also have an amazing facilitator in the Henderson area. Her name is Eileen Curlin, and she's my sister from another mother. We run all of our events together. So we have about 6 events a month where ladies can come out and they can get supervised shooting time. And we do so much more. We have breakfast with bullets. We have girls' night out. We have target time. Well, we're very, very social. So you can come out, and maybe you just moved here. Maybe you don't know a whole lot of people here, or maybe you're looking for some friends to go to the range and shoot with. So you're going to meet ladies from all different backgrounds, all walks of life, all ages, and some of them are brand new to firearms. Many of our ladies come to us brand new. They've never touched a gun before, and they're like, what do I do? Right? So we walk them through all the safety, get them dialed in. They come out and they have a goal every time we meet to practice certain things. And we do like a friendly little quarterly match. We do so I have an intro to rifle coming up where the ladies are going to come out and, kind of understand that process and how that platform works. And then sometimes we go have lunch. So it's more like brunch and bullets, I guess. But we really support each other. We've built an amazing community. I'm so grateful to Juliana Crowder and Robin Sandoval for creating Girl and a Gun. It's been out there for quite a few years. And if you're watching from another state, just go to the website and look for a chapter in your state. There are ladies groups all across the nation. Every single ladies group with A Girl and a Gun is run by a female facilitator who is at minimal basic pistol instructor and range safety officer certified and many other things. So it's a really wonderful organization that I'm grateful to be a part of.
So you're basically an instructor for real estate courses, CE courses. You're an instructor for safety courses. You are an instructor for GoPro, and you're running the chapter of Girl and a Gun.
Wow.
Yeah, all before lunch.
Let's talk about do you have a competitive side to you as far as
you think?
Just a little bit. So I'm super busy. In the last 2 years, we've been really busy with the onset of the whole COVID pandemic, and a lot of people that have come to the realization that maybe they need to find a way to be safe because there's a lot of craziness happening out there in the world. So we have been super busy. I had probably about 4 months where I taught 7 days a week, 2 or 3 classes a day. And I was exhausted, but I'm like, what if this one person has an incident that I could have helped them with? Yeah. So I just kept going, So it has been super busy. I forgot where I was going with that.
Ask if you were competitive.
Oh, competitive, right. So before the pandemic hit, I was able to go out and compete a little bit. So there's a lot of really cool matches all around town where you compete with other folks, and you're really just competing with yourself. You're trying to do better for yourself. But the first time I ever did a competition was pistol only, and that was a Glock match, and I almost threw up. I was so nervous. And then I did another and another and another. So think of if you do decide that a firearm is an option for you and you do carry a firearm, maybe you should get under a little bit of stress and see how you perform. That's super important. So I started with the Glock match, which was super fun. And then I did the IDPA, which is International Defensive Pistol Association, where you're shooting from concealment and you're under a buzzer. So you're under time pressure and accuracy standard. And they're a really great group of people if you guys have interest in any of those types of competition, because there's There's usually a match going on every weekend somewhere in the valley. There's also USPSA. There's 1 gun, there's 2 gun, there's 3 gun. So I love doing 3 gun competition when I have the time to do it. And Eileen Curlin actually travels all around the country doing 3 gun competition. So I like live vicariously through her videos and stuff because I'm just not able to take the time to do that. But here locally, we have 2 gun matches, 3 gun matches where you're shooting. They have a course of fire. They're like, okay, you have to hit this steel target, you have to hit these paper targets, you have to hit them accurately as quickly as possible. So you'll start off maybe with your pistol, you'll shoot these targets, you'll put your pistol on a benched area, you'll grab a shotgun, you'll shoot with that, and then you'll put that down, pick up a rifle, shoot with that. That's 3 gun.
Isn't there a Olympic event on skis? Would they do something like that?
Oh yeah, that's too much for me.
What's that called?
I think it's the biathlon.
Where they actually have to hit targets in a time frame?
Yeah, and there's another competition, the tactical games. If you guys want to see how crazy people get, it's kind of a cross between CrossFit and tactical shooting. So they're doing like, we did one. So Girl in a Gun has an amazing thing every year called conference, but it's not like what you would think. You would think conference might not be that much fun, but this conference is amazing. We go out of town and we train. So there was like 500 women from all across the nation, and we trained for 4 or 5 days together. And it's just amazing. And they had a mini tactical game. So I said, hey, Eileen, we should do this. And we did, and we almost died. It was bad. But it was a little bit of like picking up heavy things and running with them and dropping them on the ground and picking up a rifle and shooting it and putting it down and picking up a heavy thing and flipping it over your shoulder and doing all this crazy stuff. I probably should have prepared a little better for that. I might do it again one day when I've got a little more stamina.
So, but before you go on, actually, I have a couple questions
Sure.
from folks online here.
Folks online, I can't see it.
I got it right
It's
here.
too
right
far.
here. Are incidents on the rise, like we're talking about, when it comes to Realtor, I'm assuming? Or are we just becoming more aware of them? Are we becoming more prominent because of social media? Are they really, truly on the rise?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
So I think that we have a combination of being instantly aware of things happening because people are live streaming. You can see things come up on Twitter or Facebook quicker than you'll hear the news stories pick them up. So you're constantly aware of things that are going on. So I think that's one of the aspects of it. But I also feel like the last few years, we've seen a lot more disrespect for authority because of some of the incidents that have been in the news. And I don't know if anybody from Metro will ever see this, but I got to give a shout out to our police department, Las Vegas Metro, best in the country. Other police departments come here to train with them all the time. They are outstanding. I think we're in really, really good hands here. But you can see on the news that a lot of people are getting away with a lot more than they've ever gotten away with because they know that maybe that department might be underfunded, might be understaffed, or might take a little softer approach than they may have in the past. And by softer approach, like you've seen like in LA, a bunch of people like run in and grab a bunch of stuff out of some of high-end department stores and run out. And nobody stops them because that's what they're told to not stop them. And we see that going on a lot. And I think that emboldens a lot of criminals to do more than maybe they would have in the years past. Like they're less afraid. Like that guy that broke the window in.
Yeah, that's pretty.
How brazen is that?
Exactly.
I mean, it's one thing to, attack somebody or have a plan to attack somebody, but to know, hey, I've been caught. She saw that I unlocked that window. She locked it. Instead of leaving and going to try somewhere else, he knew that there was a high probability of getting caught. How brazen is that? I think that the criminals have gotten a lot bolder.
Yeah,
I hope that
sure.
answers that question.
No, I think it does.
What else do you have?
So you recommend realtors take a safety class? Obviously, I think
Yes,
you do.
absolutely, 100%. Yes. And there are classes in other places. I hope you come and take the one here with John and Jim and I here at the Green Valley office. Please get training, please understand some of the things that can go on out there, whether
are
it's with us or
You are
another.
by far the perfect person to teach this class. 'Cause we've had other safety folks come in. We had a gentleman from the Henderson Police Department. We've had a gentleman from Metro, but they don't know what it's like being a realtor from the realtor side of it. When they're showing a house, what if I'm working with someone and I get an uneasy feeling? I meet them at a house or whatever, and I get, what do you recommend you do?
So I want to answer. I actually want to kind of piggyback on what you said about, you've had other instructors come in. Hey, I encourage you to take a lot of classes from a lot of different instructors because you're going to pick up something of value, hopefully, from every instructor that you go teach with, that you go take a class with, right? So I'm not like, oh, my stuff is the best. I encourage my students to go out and learn as much as they possibly can from any different instructor and find the value in that class. The second one was,
So if I'm working with someone, I may meet them
so
at a
you're
home.
working with someone and you get
Uh,
uneasy.
I get I'll put out the scenario that actually happens from time to time. I get a lead on Zillow. I make the phone call, and we set an appointment at the house, which sometimes happens. I get there and I just feel uneasy about the whole thing. What do I do?
Leave.
Abort?
Leave. So I talk about this in like contracts classes as well because I want people to be thinking it is not worth your life. Look at me. I'm your captain now. It is not worth your life to run out there and meet somebody that you've never met before at a vacant house or an occupied house.
So
Period. Hold on.
Yeah.
You need to get them in your office. Y'all have some gorgeous, I'm in here looking around at this office right here, and it's gorgeous, okay? You have some professional, outstanding brokers and offices, all of you agents out there that you can bring your client to for the first meeting, get to know them, try to figure out what you're working with, really get to know their background as far as like, do they qualify? I mean, you're wasting everyone's time. Don't just run out there and meet somebody that could harm you or waste your time. So many things. I mean, you're getting me on a rant now, okay? Don't meet people out there and don't go meeting people like after dark in some secluded area, and have a plan when you're meeting people out there. Just because you've met them and you've spent like an hour, I spend like an hour with my buyer before I ever take them out to show them houses. I never take somebody out that's not pre-approved, period, end of story. And when I get them out there, I also have safety protocols. So y'all should have safety protocols. Please stop meeting. And it's about really showing your value as an agent. If you're out there and you're just ready to drop everything and show somebody a house that you've never met before, what are you showing them as far as your value? Show them how professional you are, show them where you work, and have other eyes on that person, and make sure that you have a plan.
Good answer.
That was my rant.
that was a great rant.
That was
by the way.
great.
So I've got the app Sentry Lock. Do I want to use that where it says emergency? Mine comes on when I'm looking at homes myself, and I always forget it's on. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. So did you guys know that there's a safety feature in your Sentry app? A lot of people don't know that. And I had actually one of our agents back there. She put me as her emergency contact, and then she went into a high rise for 3 hours. Okay. And I'm like freaking out, because I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong? And so she was able to get through because, high rises, you can't really get through very well. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry, that was an accident. I'm like, please don't do that. Right. So you want to have an emergency contact in there that can do something about it. And a lot of people think someone's going to come and save you. I want you to not have the mentality of somebody's coming to save you. That agent was very lucky. The police arrived on time, and I'm sure that was a big moment for them, that they were able to interrupt a crime and they were able to grab the bad guy. But a lot of times they're 6, 7, 10 minutes away. No matter how badly they may want to be there, they can't get there. So what's your plan to deal with the problem right now, at the moment that problem is happening? Sure, you want to have the Sentry app set up. You want to have somebody that knows where you are and knows who you're with and has a picture of their license plate and their phone number and a description. You want to have all that stuff, but that person is not going to be able to teleport themselves to your location. But that's where they're going to start looking. I know that's a pretty serious, heavy thing to think about, but what's your plan to deal with the situation at the moment? Don't depend too much on apps and things that you're hoping someone's going to come and save you. You're responsible for your safety. You are your own first responder. So that's what I want my students to be qualified to do, is take care of
Forgive me
themselves.
for asking one more question, but I've actually done this. I know it's going to may seem like a dumb question, but
No such thing.
I've heard of people
Ooh, the coffee's kicking in.
putting 911 in their phone and kind of at the ready, like all I got to do is push the. Is that going to do any good?
Sure.
How are they going to know where I am? I can't.
Well, I don't want you to do it right now, but your phone will dial for you. So just be careful, because Siri
How's
hears
that work?
everything. Well, you say, you tell Siri, hey Siri, and you can call anybody.
911. Okay.
Siri can call people for you. I like
Well,
to tell people that it can. I'm like, yeah, I can do all sorts. You got an assistant in your phone that can make appointments, all that kind of stuff.
Right. What if I can't do that? What if I can't? I'm sitting there right with the person in front of me.
Yeah. So there are some apps that you could maybe touch a button and it'll call 911, and they'll hear something going on.
Okay.
And they'll start to understand where you're located, and there might be a problem. But again, what's your plan for while you're waiting? I actually have a watch. It's not a Dick Tracy watch. It's just a iPhone, whatever I watch. I don't know what it is. I'm not that techie, but I love technology. I just don't know how it all works. But it's independent of my phone. So that means if I leave my phone somewhere or my phone dies, my watch can still call people for me. So I think that might be a good thing. If you have a smartwatch, get the one. It's a little more money, but get the one that has its own Wi-Fi, right? That can, call somebody if you need to. You could just talk to it and it'll do things for you. Isn't it technology cool?
Love
Good.
it.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
I see more questions popping up. I love questions. Oh my God,
Good
so many,
question.
so
Good
many,
question.
so many. Remember where we live. Where do we live?
That'd be Las Vegas.
That'd be Las Vegas. We want people to come here and
Yeah,
spend
exactly.
money. So many of the things that happen may get underreported or not reported, especially when it comes to, the strip and things like that.
Vegas stays in Vegas.
What happens in Vegas does not always stay in Vegas, but when it comes to the news, not every incident makes the news. So what you're hearing in the news, again, because of social media and, like Nextdoor and Ring and those things, we're getting a lot more information really quickly. Some of it's not correct information, but we're getting more information quickly, but it's definitely underreported.
Anything else?
Call 702-528-2222. That is my direct cell. If I don't answer, send me a text. Maybe I'm teaching a class on a break. I'll be able to say, hey, I can't chat right now, but I'll chat when I'm done. That's my personal cell, 702-528-2222. If you just have a question, or there's something I can help you with, or you want to set up training, or you want information about our team or our training or Girl and a Gun, that's the way to reach me.
One of the things before we get done here, we had talked about, and you talked about the CE classes and also the concealed weapon classes. You do them in people's houses too.
Yeah, so that's a service that we offer. Is we can come to your home or we can come to your office. We've had a lot of families that train together, or a team that trains together. I had an architect's office where all of the staff train together. I've had beauty salons where all of the technicians in the beauty salon train together so that they're all on the same page. And then I've had also some people that just don't want to be in a public setting or a group class, because of like COVID concerns. So I can do it for as little as 2 or 3 people, or again, I've had 15 people in a class in someone's home. And it was so cool because it's like, this is all my friends and families and neighbors, and now we're all on the same page. So whether it's just kind of understanding your firearm better, or a lecture, some safety concerns, or a CCW class, concealed carry, we can do all of those privately, confidentially, and then of course we go to the range to do the shooting portion.
We asked all the questions.
All my
a lot of
questions. Any more
questions.
questions coming in?
So what have we? What have we asked, Alex? So let's see here.
think we
We
covered
want to make
most
sure to cover everything. You asked about the courses you offer. You asked about that. Let's see. So it sounds to me like it's all about preparation and doing things right before something actually happens. I mean, you said, what was it? You said self-awareness or not self
Being aware of
being
your
aware of your
surroundings. Yeah.
How many times do we all get in our car and we're like in a dark parking lot, we're fiddling for our keys and
Yeah.
I do think, well, what if someone were to come up right now, literally, what do I do?
Yeah. So
Well,
and I like you said, like in the beginning, we were kind of chit chatting before we went live, and we're like, what if we could get people before something happens
Mhm.
and prepare them so that they could avoid that bad thing happening, instead of people being, reactive, where something bad happened to me and now I need training. And so much of it is just being aware of your surroundings. When you get into your vehicle, when you leave a place, a building, your home, your office, wherever you're leaving, always be aware of what's going on. Take a second when you open the door to kind of look left and look right and look all the way out into the distance. Is there anything that looks out of place? Is there anything kind of creepy hanging around your car? All those types of things. If there's something out there that just doesn't feel right, why go out there? You can come back in. You can ask security to walk you out. You can get a friend to walk you out, right? So you get to your vehicle, look around your vehicle. Is there anything weird going on? Like we always joke about, never get into your car or approach your car if there's a white van next to your car.
Whoa, I never heard that one.
Because that's how they commonly will open the door
white
and snatch
van.
you and pull you into the van, right? So just being aware on your way to your vehicle. And now you get into your vehicle. Don't dilly-dally outside your vehicle. Get your stuff in your vehicle and open up your door, sit down, close your door, and lock
Lock it.
your door.
Yeah.
Don't wait for your door to lock as you pull away.
Mhm.
Then start to prepare yourself to pull out, because if you back into your parking spot, you can more easier get out of that parking spot, and then you won't run the risk of running over people that are walking behind you on their phone, right? You could just pull out, and then you put your seatbelt on. So agents don't spend time sitting in your car playing on your phone, because when you're on your phone, you're somewhere else. You're not there, and you're taking away valuable seconds or minutes that could be the difference between life or death. So go away, go home, and get on your phone. Come to your office and get on your phone.
As realtors, as agents, we never know where we're going to be in any given time. We could be all parts of town. Not saying one's better than the next, but we could find ourselves in some pretty sketchy areas.
There is no safe place anymore, is there?
No. I was just sitting there thinking, we live in Inspirata, John. We're pretty covered, but I hear of incidents happening all the time in Inspirata.
Yeah.
Mainly coyotes attacking pets, but other than that, right?
If predators are going to go to the area where they're going to get more money, so they're going to rob a house that is more apt to have nice things in it. So I know Summerlin's had a lot of issues. Sun City has had a lot of issues, and those are thought to be really nice, safe communities. Cars get broken into every single night. Door knocks, all kinds of craziness. So you just never know. You can't let your guard down because, we're in a safe place. Are we? I don't know. Just be. So I talk about, I'll kind of like let them kind of vacillate on this. So I don't think that you should be paranoid.
No.
You shouldn't walk around like, oh my God, everyone's out to get me, with, that mentality. But you should be constantly aware of the world around you. And I like to kind of put it on the same thought process as driving. So when you drove here today, you probably did these things. You probably got in your car and you looked at your left and your right mirror. You get in park and you start driving right after you put your seatbelt on. You make sure you put your locks on, right? And you're driving down the freeway and you're looking at your left mirror. You're looking at your right mirror. You always turn your head before you switch lanes because you've got blind spots. You're looking in front of you as far as you can because there might be a lane that is always under construction. I don't know how I don't know how we're always under construction and nothing
we
ever
are.
gets fixed here, but there's always something. But you might need to change lanes, or you might need to speed up or slow down, or something might be going. There's a car on fire. I saw that the other day, right? Or somebody broke down in the middle of the road. And then you're also looking at your rear view mirror, right? Because there's things coming up behind you that could hurt you too. How about just going about your day like
The
that?
same way. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not paranoid. I'm in my car and I'm driving. I'm happy to go to the places that I'm going, but I'm aware of things that maybe could harm me that I want to stay away from. So I would think
like
that would be
I like
helpful.
that.
That's great. So understand that Alex is a CE instructor. She's going to be able to do all of the real estate classes. Give me all the classes again that you teach. Real estate.
Real estate?
A lot.
Oh, well, every class that I teach over at LVR, those are their classes that I teach. So all the contracts and,
Continuing ed for
continuing
realtors.
ed and ethics and agency and all those types of things. Post. If somebody's listening and you're at your last month, oh my God, you should have been there post training the first month because you learn all this stuff, right? So if you're in your first year, get that post done as soon as possible. You're going to learn a lot of great stuff that can help you in your business. And, I'm sure that your offices have all sorts of office meetings and stuff where you can learn more about ongoing training in the office. But always take advantage of the training that you have available to you, whether it's at your brokerage, at LVR. We have a lot of Zoom classes as well. So pretty much all the stuff.
So then you took your passion and took it into safety.
That was my goal all along. Yeah, pretty much.
So correct me if I'm wrong. You offer the only CE class for safety, realtor safety, or what in town? I've never heard one.
I think there might be a few others out there.
But
I think there might be. I don't see them very often.
I've never seen one. Have you,
LVR
John?
does have a class
They
that
do?
they put
Okay.
on, but I know that there are some other instructors out there that teach.
I know there's plenty of classes out there. Well, there's not plenty. There's a few.
I'm not sure if
But are
they're.
there CE? Can you get
Yeah, I'm
CE
not
from-
sure. I think there was one or two that did have CE that I took like 3 or 4 years ago. I'm not sure. So training is training. If it's a good instructor, always kind of learn a little bit about your instructor if you can when it comes to safety, because there's a lot of like, I saw it on YouTube and I'm going to teach a class now type training out there. So you want to kind of know, like, how long have you been doing this?
Mhm.
Who were your instructors? Do you have the background to teach? How long have you been teaching? Those types of things. So I've been teaching now for about 8 or 9 years, both safety and continuing education. And if you go to the website, again, lowprolv.com, you can see a little bit more about us and our background. But, find out a little bit more about your
Your bio
instructor.
will be on
But
there, right?
my bio's on there, as well as all the other instructors. But take training. If you have a friend that teaches safety something, go learn. And then go take a class from somebody else, and you'll learn maybe things that maybe you shouldn't do from one instructor to the other. So, I'm not like my sauce is the best. I mean, I like to think it is,
I think it is.
I mean, I dedicate more. One of the differences between our team and a lot of the other teams that teach what we teach is that we're all about continuing education. We spend thousands of dollars a year traveling out of state on our own dime, paying for the hotel, paying for the airfare, and paying for the class to go learn more so that we can bring it back to our students. So one of the top-notch instructors in the country, Tom Givens, I have trained with him, Brian Hill, Clint Smith, Thunder Ranch, right? All these amazing instructors, and they've been teaching for 40 years, some of them. And I take that and I'm like, oh, this is good stuff. I'm going to come back and share this with all of my students. So you want to have an instructor that's today, that hasn't learned something 40 years ago, and they're teaching the same thing they taught 40 years ago every single day, and they never evolve from that. That would be my advice.
There you go. Well, come see Alex on October 11th. Here in the Green Valley training room. So anything else, Jim?
What was your phone number one more time? Your phone number.
702-528-2222. Picked it out myself.
So we're going to post the flyer up later today, or on the class coming up. That is sponsored by Rock Title, by the way. Thank you, Rock Title, for that. We appreciate
Very
that.
nice. Thank
We
you.
cannot forget that. So one last thing. So I love having you here because now it'll be top of mind in my mind when I'm out there, and you know. But like you said, don't walk around paranoid, but at least have it in your mind that stuff happens to everyone,
Yeah.
everywhere, right?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I appreciate how open-minded and supportive you are for me and for your agents. It's very forward-thinking to be bringing safety to your agents.
I'd like us to be known for that, among other many things that we're known for. But I would like us to be
Are all agents welcome to come to this class from any
absolutely
company?
outside agents, everybody.
Okay.
Now we're going to charge the outside agents a little bit of money, but $10.
Ah,
That's it, $10. So
that's a Starbucks.
There you go.
exactly. But our agents are totally free, right, John? Totally free.
Absolutely. Green Valley agents.
Right on. How would they, if they see this on YouTube, how would they sign up for the class? Would they reach out to you or?
So here's the best way for now. It's on the flyer and everything, but 702-898-7575.
Say that again.
702-898-7575.
That's how you sign up for the
We
class.
want to, just RSVP with Karen. at
We
our
need
front
to
desk.
RSVP because we have limited space.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
the first, once you're registered, you're guaranteed a spot, but we don't want you to show up and have to turn you away. So please sign up and save your spot.
And you're going to do more than just talk about safety. You're going to talk about, what were the other things you talked about you were going to do?
All the things.
Everything.
All the
Everything.
things.
3 hours.
As
my
much
goodness.
as I can squeeze into 3 hours, and I will hang around on the break and after the class if you have more questions, as long as it takes to get your questions answered, I'll be here.
And John Stoll buying pizza after the class, right? I heard that.
Pizza.
Someone said that.
Ooh.
I can't. Is that right, John? I don't
That's what
remember.
we
I
said.
think
Oh,
he just
cool.
committed you to buying
All right,
pizza.
so that's
See how
how
we did that?
See how he did
we
that?
get him to pay for more stuff that way.
Like, wait, what? I'm buying
Every
pizza.
time he's not sure about a question, he says, John, what do you think?
When
You're
do we
like,
get
what?
out?
What?
Yeah. All right. So I think we're pretty much wrapped up. Any
Let's do
last
the-
questions, Alexis, on the? Geez, that was fun. Thank you.
That
so
was
much.
awesome.
was
Thank you
awesome.
so
You
much
bet.
for
Thank you.
having me. This was just a great way to start my day. I just really, really appreciate you having me here and look forward to seeing y'all again soon.
Love it.